Well, some big breaking news right now out of the UK. Prince William and Princess Catherine have made their first public statement on the Jeffrey Epstein fallout, which is causing continued embarrassment for William's uncle, Andrew. A royal spokesperson said, "I can confirm the Prince and Princess have been deeply concerned by the continuing revelations. Their thoughts remain focused on the victims." So that's big news, their first comment on the scandal. All right, let's bring in now radio legend Ray Hadley, as always on a Monday. Great to see you, Ray.
Oh, I've missed you. I've missed
you.
Over the Christmas New Year break. That is a big story. That'll be worldwide news by tomorrow morning.
In less than an hour. It'll go viral, just like you did when you came down to the site of the Bondi massacre. I think the last time I saw you in person, and your comments were so strong about the Prime Minister, about Anthony Albanese, that they just went everywhere. We've now got President Herzog here today. He wasn't quite as strong as you, Ray, but very strong words as well. He said there's been some bashing of Israel.
Very diplomatic. I saw the interview. Congratulations on getting that.
Thank you.
It'll be an interesting confrontation or meeting between the President and the Prime Minister. But I think I listened, obviously, to Bronwyn and to Stephen prior to coming in here. And I thought Bronwyn was very kind to Susan Lee. She's always very kind to everyone. You would know from this program, I've been calling for her to go for the last 3 or 4 months. It's not personal. It's as a Conservative person, I want the best chance to get rid of Anthony Albanese et al. At the next election. And she doesn't offer that. And that news poll result today is as embarrassing as it gets. I quoted today 2 young people, Cooper Gannon and Hannah Hutton, who are just the new president, vice president of the Young Liberals. They had more gumption than their senior counterparts by actually saying what everyone's been thinking. She has to go. Because they said today and yesterday, they think that the Liberal Party, as Jane Hume has said, is in danger of perishing unless something's done. I mean, to have One Nation, you know, as the preferred second place behind Labor in primary vote is really troubling. But
well,
look,
unheard of, really.
Yeah, Angus Taylor, I think he's a really nice fella, but I would much prefer that the right stuck with Andrew Hastie, because I think the point of difference between Taylor and Hastie is marked on the right-hand side. I've got an interesting story about Angus Taylor. I first met him probably about 10... He came to Parliament 2013, so I reckon 2014, 15 or 16, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Tony Abbott rang me and said, "I want you to come to dinner at my place." Kind invitation. I love his wife, Margie. Got there. And Angus was there. And I was surprised by that. And he was quite emphatic, because I was still on radio at the time, that this bloke would be one day a Liberal Prime Minister. Such was the support. And he has been impressive, but I don't think he's quite as strong as he should be in relation to Conservative values. But he'll get his chance. There'll be a spill. And I think, to Bronwyn Bishop's comments earlier, and I love and respect Bronwyn, I think for her to be dignified, Susan Lee's got to see the writing on the wall. She's got to call a spill. And she's got to basically stand down.
Well, she'll only do that if she thinks she doesn't have the numbers. So if she thinks that Angus Taylor has the numbers, then she should do that. But otherwise, she's probably going to battle it out. And there has been this concern. You know, this is why the Conservatives haven't moved. First, they couldn't decide between Angus Taylor and Hastie. And then it was, well, does the right have the numbers?
Well, are they stark raving mad? I'd say this to them. All the MPs, the Liberal MPs, upper and lower house, have a look at the poll. Are you mad? Do you want to be in opposition or in third place for the rest of your political careers? Do you want to lose seats in Victoria and New South Wales? I mean, do you want to exist into the future? You've got to change. The writing's on the wall, for goodness sake. I can't even understand why there'd be any consternation about removing the leader, as nice a person as she may be. But she's got no traction with the electorate. And it's one of those indefinable things. People, you know, either warm to someone or they don't.
Yeah.
Whether it's a TV personality, a radio personality or a politician. And they don't warm to her. It's as simple as that. And it's not her fault. It's just the way life is.
We have seen examples of where you have a really strong politician who the electorate doesn't naturally warm to, or they're not likable, but they're so strong and they're such a conviction politician that people vote for them anyway. Tony Abbott, one example. Scott Morrison, again, I saw him a bit earlier. He was there at some drinks with Herzog. Scott Morrison, the same. Because they have that conviction. They know a path forward. They're confident in their vision for the nation, and that's what's missing at the moment.
Well, I think people are sick of seeing politicians with splinters in their backside, trying to serve both sides of the fence. What they need is what the two young Liberals said, a strong Conservative voice. That's what they need. They need an alternative to the rubbish we're getting from the Prime Minister and his mob. That's what they want.
What about these reports we've been reading, Ray, about the Palestine protests, but also infecting the classroom, this activism in the classroom? It was a story in the Daily Telegraph on the weekend.
Well, it's in New South Wales for people in other states and territories, and it's a cabal of Palestinian supporters that have infiltrated the education department and basically using, these wonderful characters like Bluey and others to teach the children. I thought they were there to learn, reading, writing, arithmetic, the 3 R's, but apparently they're teaching them via Bluey and other characters that are much loved by the kids to suggest the Jewish people are to be hated and the Palestinian cause is to be supported. Look, in relation to not just that, but also these protests that you've spoken about, and I saw the cross earlier, and I drove through town to get here. And
did you have any problems driving
No,
through?
the Public Order Rights Squad went past me at speed a couple of times. I thought there must have been something happening somewhere. And there's a mob of police outside Central Railway Station. I don't know what was happening there, but Jack Gibson said something, the great rugby league coach who's now long gone. He said this mob would boo Santa Claus. And they would. So if they weren't protesting about this, they'd be protesting about something else, Shari. I mean, they're professional protesters, and they're a ragtag bunch, and as Dave Sharma said, it's a relatively small number of people compared to the overall population. So we're wasting resources. As Bronwyn said, there are businesses going broke on the CBD because people are too scared to go in. I've said before, I came into town, I rarely do it, into the city, I mean, and I had to go into the Queen Victoria building, and you're intimidated by all these people outside Town Hall.
You just don't want to go into the city anymore on the weekend when the protests are happening.
And poor old Chris Minns is there. He's got 3 members of his parliamentary party.
Well, what should he do about that, do you think?
Well, he's in a difficult position because, he allows them to be... And he hasn't jumped up and down about Lawrence and others and what they've done over a period of time. And, if you even suggest that they're anti-Semitic, shock horror, not that I would say they would be, but they're certainly pro-Palestine. But, and they're from the left, obviously, the hard left, and I guess Minns is terrified of offending them, because he needs the left and he needs the unions to, make sure he's in power. But he's a conviction politician, I think, Minns. At some stage he's got to stand up and say, listen, pipe down, you people. All you're doing is, really causing me problems and causing the city problems.
Yeah, exactly. You expect, them all to obey the rules that he sets, the example that he sets. And by the way, he was the first politician with the Israeli President Herzog this morning at the Bondi Memorial site. It was so good to see him standing with him side by side.
You know what? He's a good person.
He is a good person.
And Prue Carr, by the way, his deputy, is the Education Minister. And she's a fantastic woman. Prue, for goodness sake, jump up and down with these people in schools, teaching our kids other than what they should be teaching them.
It's just appalling.
It is.
Ray, thank you so much.
Good to be back. Lovely to be back. Talk to you next week. Thank you.